Hey guys, what's up? Tony here from My DIY Outdoors. So today is April 17th, opening day of turkey season. We've been extremely busy and have not yet made it out hunting or scouting. We're going to start out with Maizy behind the gun. I'm actually going to be filming her today. It is the afternoon hunt. We're making out for the first time. We're going to go try to check out a couple of spots. We got permission to hunt, and hopefully we can find some birds. So if we can't get it done tonight, hopefully we can at least locate something and put a couple birds to roost, and then we'll be able to make a go at it again tomorrow morning. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some hunting in, and hopefully we can make something happen today. Alright guys, so we just got out to the first spot. We drove back on the farm. There's a lane that gets us about close to the middle of the property. Birds aren't out. We can't see any birds right now. It's late afternoon. It's probably 5:30 on the first day, so we got a couple hours. Shooting light, I think tonight, shooting hours is about 7:52. So the goal of tonight's really just to try to locate the birds, and you know, if we get lucky, we get lucky, but really I just want to try to find some and put them to bed so we know where they're at in the morning. So all we're gonna do for tonight's hunt, we're gonna spend a decent amount of time just kind of still hunting and glassing out in the fields. We're gonna take as she started joking around about what she wanted to name our decoys, I couldn't help but reminiscing on the hunt we had here on the same farm last year. So Maizy's gone hunting with me a couple times before, deer and turkey hunting and small game hunting, but last year was her first year behind the gun. We hunted out on the same exact farm, had a great time, and on her second hunt she was able to harvest a nice Jake turkey. Out of all the years I've spent hunting, out of all the animals I've been able to, lucky enough to harvest, I've never felt the amount of pride and the amount of joy as when Maizy filled her turkey tag. So I would definitely suggest, you know, getting your kids out there, introducing them to hunting. It's an amazing time. There's a lot of things for the kids to learn out in the field, and we just had a great time doing it together. So continuing on with our hunt, we snuck through the woods. We found a good spot to set up our blind. I snuck out Rita the decoy, is what Maizy named our hen decoy. She chose to bring one hen out with us. So we get set up, get the blind all set up, and we started glassing. It wasn't long after this that we actually started seeing our first turkeys. So we just got our first setup. We haven't seen any birds yet. There is one other hunter over here on one of the neighboring farms. We've got a pretty good setup where we can see the field out in front of us, and we can see the next two fields to the east. We can see most of the property that we have permission to hunt. We got Rita the decoy out here by herself, the hen decoy. We have no idea if there's birds on this farm. The landowner says that he hasn't been seeing a whole lot, but he's been extremely busy, so he probably hasn't been out here too much. As we got settled into our blind, it didn't take very long at all, and Maizy spotted a turkey across the field. Over the next several minutes, we had a couple hens. Three different hens actually came out of the neighbor's woods. The first was just a lone hen. She came out all by herself and started feeding in the field. Didn't really pay too much attention to us, and she was shortly followed by two separate hens that came out, followed by 4 jakes. The one single hen actually came across quartering towards us to our right, as you see here. She worked all the way across the field and into the woods. 4 jakes actually followed the other 2 hens to our left. We were watching those, and right before they went out of sight, a big tom came out of the woods. Shh, no, he's way too far right now. Don't move, just hold still, okay? Yes, he's way too far. He's got to be way closer than that, okay? So hold still, he sees that decoy, he might come in. Okay, just wait. He's probably like 45, 50 yards. Alright, so it's after shooting hours. Just by a couple minutes. We got a big tom, a real big tom, right next to the blind. We got 4 jakes right out in front of us. With 2 hens. That big tom got about 40 yards away, which is just too far for the old 410. We were very close to killing that big tom, but he just wouldn't quite come within range. These jakes are about to come say hello to the decoy. I think Maizy would shoot one, but it's after shooting hours anyway. Shooting hours are 7:52 tonight. It's 8:01 already. So we're 9 minutes past shooting time. So we're gonna put all these birds to bed tonight. And hopefully come kill that big tom in the morning. It's a big one. After the tom had entered the woods to our left, we lost sight of him. We did have the opportunity to watch 4 jakes that were feeding across the field come all the way across in front of us, work about 100 yards to our right where they flew up into the roost. So that was a really cool opportunity because Maizy had never seen turkeys fly up into the trees before. It was a pretty outstanding day. She got to see that tom. She was all worked up about that. She got to see the birds fly into the roost, and then we decided to make a plan for the next morning. It's starting to get dark now on our first hunt, so today is opening day, April 17th. We didn't hunt this morning because Maizy had a soccer game. We got snuck in and we set up. We ended up seeing 7 or 8 hens, 4 jakes, and 1 big tom. So, we actually watched all 4 jakes come right by us, and they roosted over here about 90 yards. So we put those ones right in the roost. The big tom actually squirted left around us, and we didn't watch him roost. But being that the time that he walked by us, he couldn't have gone very far. He was only gone for about 15 minutes before the jakes flew up in the roost. So we got the woods behind us, and then there ain't much, and I doubt he went 500 yards across the road in that amount of time. So I'm gonna say he's probably roosted in this woodlot right behind us, so which is right on the center of the property that we have permission on. So even though we're not leaving with a turkey, this is mission accomplished for our first day out. We did exactly what we wanted to do. We located some birds. We located a big tom. We put him to roost. We have a good idea of where to set up in the morning. So I'll be back here first thing nice and early. Second morning out, we're set up. We got the blind brushed in pretty good. We got those 4 jakes already down in the field out here. We can hear that Tom gobbling. We can hear that Tom gobbling through the woods. I don't know if he's down on the ground or if he's still up in the tree, but it's really early and those jakes already came down. I'm really surprised they flew down this early. But we just got the blind all set up and brushed in, so hopefully we can make something happen. After the jakes flew down, they pretty quickly worked across the field, and they eventually went into the woods across the field, but they definitely make sure that they gobble plenty of times on the way there. It turned out to be an absolute beautiful morning to be out there turkey hunting in the woods. We heard a lot of gobbles. We got to watch the jakes gobble several times before they went into the woods. As the sun came up, there wasn't much wind. It was just a beautiful morning. Throughout the morning, we seen all sorts of wildlife. We had deer that were working around us. It was so exciting that Maizy even fell asleep a little bit there. But in her defense, she did get out of bed at 5 a.m. this morning. So it was just a splendid time out in the blind. Again, we've seen all sorts of wildlife. Lots of deer on this farm. Even got to see a couple of bucks, and you could just start to see their antlers already. So we had a little visitor from a mouse. Maizy thoroughly enjoyed that. He kept coming in and around the blind. In fact, a couple times that turkeys were out in the field, she was more concerned with her new mouse friend coming in the blind than the turkeys in the field. So when you take a kid hunting, you got to make sure that they have a good time, and the things that they find enjoyable, just make sure that you feed off that, and don't get frustrated when they're more interested in certain things other than the hunting itself. Hey guys, so it's our second morning. We hunted here last night. We put 4 jakes in the roost, and we had a Tom get around us, and I thought he roosted behind us. This morning, those 4 jakes were gobbling like crazy. We could have went down the edge of the woods a little ways and got closer to them, but we tried to hold back where we seen that Tom go into the woods yesterday. We think he gobbled one time. We're not even sure if it was him. We heard one other gobble way to the west, northwest of us, so that wheat field behind us is kind of in the shape of an L, and we're thinking he might be hanging out in the corner, but I'm just not sure because he hasn't gobbled all morning. So it's behind that little hill.
Okay.
All right, so we just about got ready to leave, and another bird came out across the field.
Now she's back.
It's in a low spot right now, so we can only see its head. It's definitely got a bright red head. It's by itself, but it hasn't come out of that low spot enough to see what it is. It's definitely a male bird, so we'll see. He's still gobbling. Well, guys, day 2 morning hunt's pretty much over. We just had a nice Tom come out. He found himself a girlfriend this time, though. It's well after 10 now. We just had a Tom come across the field with a hen, about 120 yards. He wouldn't really respond to the call. He's holding pretty tight with that hen that he's got with him, so they worked down into the woods over here. We still got some jakes chasing around some hens about 500 yards away out in that neighbor's field, so we don't want to spook the Tom, but Maisy's getting a little antsy and getting hungry, so I'm not going to make her wait any longer than she has to, so we're going to take our tent down here and take the blind down. Try to sneak out of here. He is in the woods now with that hen, so they're working away from us. There's not a really good way to cut them off from where we're at, and not a good way to sneak up on them in that woods, not with the leaves the way they are. So so we're gonna sneak on out of here, and we might be able to hunt tonight, but probably not. So he's gobbling again. We'll be waiting to next weekend. So he's awfully close to the property edge right now, so if he goes any further west, he won't even be on the property we have permission to hunt. So it's really hard to call Tom away from hens, so I'm not a very good caller myself. So we gave it a shot, and he gobbled a few times and he was strutting, but he's got a girlfriend for the time being. So we're gonna sneak on out of here and give it a try another time. Hopefully sooner or later Maizy can make the old 410 bark again. Alright guys, well, that about sums up our first weekend, I think. Maisy's just getting the rest of her stuff loaded in the truck. So we hunted last night and we hunted this morning. Thought we were gonna make it work this morning, but we had a lot of fun, seeing a lot of birds. Just couldn't quite close the distance on the Tom. So we're heading out. We will be back hopefully next weekend maybe. There's definitely a lot of birds out here. We'll see what we can do. What do you think?
Good.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you? Did you see a lot of turkeys?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And a bunch of deer.
And deer. And what else?
A mouse.
Squirrels and mice. Had a mouse come in the blind.
I named him Mousy.
All right. Well, till next time. Okay. Say bye.
Bye.